The kingdom of God is a metaphor for the presence of God. And we know that God is always and everywhere present. So when we see this phrase that Jesus uses, it's meant to open us up. It's meant to have us move from a place of fear and anxiety to a place of comfort, consolation, deeper awareness. So this wonderful phrase, the kingdom of God, is often misunderstood. It's much broader than heaven. The kingdom of God is where the truth of God, the presence of God, and this world intersect. And that's why Jesus is implying that the kingdom of God is here, and yet it's not here. We experience it, and then we don't. The kingdom of God is when you and I experience truth, or beauty, or goodness, or healing, or blessing, or a unit of experience. Even if only a moment, it's like, yes, that's it. And much more. Just like we can't contain God completely, nor can we contain the fullness of the kingdom of God. We get glimpses of it. We get experiences of it. That's why Jesus uses these two wonderful images. The kingdom of God is like a very, very small seed, like just a little bit of yeast, and how it slowly affects the entire aspect. So it is for us. Why we're called with patient endurance to continue to be messengers, to be participants, to share in the kingdom of God in the here and now. Let me tell you a little story. The story about a 4-year-old girl who just loved her daddy so much that she wanted to make a special gift. So she went into her mother's closet and she found this little box. And then she pulled out this brand new golden wrapping paper. And she wrapped this beautiful box. And she went to go give it to her daddy. Now, he was a businessman and was counting every single penny. And when she presented it to him, he was not in a good mood. And he saw it. So he was, first off, he was touched. And but then he said, "It's not my birthday." "I know, Daddy. I just wanted to tell you I love you." He says, "Well, thank you." He was touched. So he opened it up, and it was empty. And then he couldn't contain himself. He said, "Honey, why did you waste all this brand new paper in this box and there's nothing in it?" Well, she saw her father's exasperation and she burst into tears. She said, "Daddy, it's not empty. I blew lots of kisses into it for you." Wow. That's the other thing about the kingdom of God. It surprises us. It shows up when you least expect it. It comes in small ways with the innocence and simplicity of a daughter who just wants to share her love for her father in a different way, and he wasn't prepared for it. So we too are to be kingdom inspectors, to discern the difference between the kingdom of God and the kingdom of darkness. As you well know, we live in a very, very difficult time. Difficult time where there is so much negativity and darkness, so much violence and aggression. It just seems to get worse and worse and worse. Would you agree? That's why God's put you on earth. That you and I are called to be like seeds and yeast, that wherever we're at, through a smile, a word or an act of kindness, a listening ear, you may say, "Oh, it's not that important." You can change a person's whole day, whole mood, just by that. I want to leave you with a final story. It's a story about a teacher, senior high school, who was teaching a class, as often happens at the end of the last session for summer. The students are just wild. They can't wait to be set free for summer. So she came up with this idea of asking each student to write on a single piece of paper all the gifts that they perceived in their classmates. So they wrote down the name and then the quality or two that they admired. And then she gave them 3 blue ribbons. And she said, the blue ribbon said, "I'm special." She says, "I want you to go out and I want you to do the same thing for someone else that you know." So I'll cut to the chase. There was this one girl who went to her art teacher. She said, "Sir, I want to thank you because through your encouragement of my creativity, I've begun to trust what's inside of me. So here's a blue ribbon for you. Now you have to go and pass it on to somebody else." So here's 2 more. So off he went. And he had another part-time job at an art supply store. He really admired the owner. And so he said, "Sir, I know this may sound strange to you." And he told the story. He says, "But I want to thank you for your integrity. Someday I want to own my art store. And I'm taking on board everything you've been teaching me. So here's a blue ribbon for you, and you get to pass it on." So the man, who was a very hard worker, took the rest of the day off. He was so touched by this, and he went home because he wanted to give the blue ribbon to his 15-year-old son. And so his son had just arrived home from school. And his dad sat down. He said, "The strangest thing happened to me today. One of my young employees gave me a blue ribbon and told me he admired my integrity as a businessman. And he said I had to pass it on. Son, you're the one I want to give a blue ribbon to." He said, "Let me tell you why." And he made a whole list of the things he admired and loved about his son. "I admire your social etiquette. You just, people gravitate to you. You have a beautiful, attractive spirit and personality, and I admire your intelligence." And with each gift that he named, through his words of kindness, the boy cried more and more and more until he was sobbing. Finally, the father stopped and said, "Son, what's the matter?" Dad, I don't mean to hurt you. Thank you. You don't know what this has done to me." Through tears, he pointed to a stack of books. He said, "See those books there?" "Yeah." He said, "What's that doing there?" "Dad, I don't want to hurt you, but I brought those home today. I thought I was just a pain to you. I know you're busy and you're tired and overworked. I tried my best to stay out of your way. I just thought I was a problem to you. Because whenever you spoke to me, you'd yell at me. You'd point out what I needed to do better. Dad, I brought those books home because tonight I decided I was going to take my life." He said, "Your words have saved my life." Kingdom of God. It's always surprising. And this is the thing that's so powerful. It's so simple. A word of kindness, a smile, a hug, listening ear. Yeah, sometimes Jesus did miraculous things, but most of the time it's just the way he was present to people. The kingdom of God is in our midst, and yet it's not here. God invites us to be messengers of that kingdom